Hey, it's Birdman time for another edition of Birdman on the Mountain Community Shout. Hanging out here in the studio. Welcome to all the listeners out there in the Birdman Media Podcasts, the people on Facebook, YouTube, and then also those of you in WMI TV and Sholo TV. So, just a few thousand people, right? Hey, we're ending up summer. We're getting toward the end of it. Kids are back in school. Want to remind everybody, just relax, be patient. As the Sholo police say, pack your patience, that kind of thing. Anyways, we're going to kick off this morning with Dr. Barella. How are you, sir?
I am wonderful this morning. How are you, Rob?
I'm good. So we're going to talk about the Nexus Coalition for Drug Prevention.
Nexus Coalition for Drug Prevention, which I sit as one of the board members. And this morning's conversation is going to be a little bit about stress. Now, the Drug Coalition's target population is children, transitional children, and young adults. And we never think about stress as a trigger in kids. We all think about it as for us as an adults, but we also hear a considerable amount about ACEs, the studies that we've had big programs up here in the year, the adverse childhood events in early childhood, where 70% of children essentially have been exposed to an adverse childhood event. And we're going to talk about stress, because one of the big things that stresses kids out, we know at least in schools, is bullying, relationships with their peers, but even more important, relationships with their parents. Mm-hmm. And at home, children need to feel comfortable. And unfortunately, many children have stresses at home related, unfortunately, to parents yelling at them, controlling them and stuff. And children thrive on constancy in their environment. They thrive on knowing what to do. And one of the problems is that when you have adverse stress at home, you have no place to go and relax, no comfort place. And these things, unfortunately, spill over into the real world. And the real world concern, at least with our organization, Drug Prevention, is how to prevent those children, young adults, from making the switch from a comfortable home to using drugs and alcohol as a stress reducer. And it's interesting, when you have the stresses in your home, your incidence of drug and alcohol risk as an adult, abuse as an adult, goes up almost 20-fold.
Wow. Including
the use of IV drugs. Very, very difficult situation, and it's important. And the Drug Coalition is sponsoring programs starting this fall again to answer some of the stress-related issues, because they really haven't been much approached in young childhood and in the teens. We see that as a severe problem going on. It's a comfort zone. In my mind, at least, there's not a problem that drugs and alcohol can't make worse.
Okay, so we make people aware of the fact that you need to reduce the stress in the home with your kids. What practices do we have available to offer them?
Well, it's really interesting. We have very few.
Okay.
We have very few. There's very little counseling available. There's very little understanding in parents, because frequently it's the parents' underlying problem that spills over into children. Children learn in a black and white thought process. In other words, early childhood is right and wrong. But what happens as the kids get older? They learn that the parents who've been teaching them right and wrong live in a gray world.
Right.
And so it's very, very difficult. And the Drug Coalition is getting involved with programs that we are going to present starting in the school system this fall. And hopefully we will be able to do some community education programs on how to approach stress. But we have very little resources up here, because we have very little psychology resources, very little psychiatric resources, and certainly very difficult, not difficult, but very little understanding of the risks in childhood. And the Drug Coalition is approaching that this fall in programs in the school system and hopefully in the community.
Good. Awesome. Okay, so we can look forward to having
We can look forward to it. I want people to be aware that this is an issue. And just remember my comment, there's nothing There's no problem that can't be made worse with drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
And thanks for your time.
So how does somebody reach out to get a hold of you guys?
Well, the Drug Coalition is online. That's probably the easiest way to the Nexus Drug Prevention Coalition in Show Low. We have a site. Vicki Solomon is our local coordinator, and that probably is the easiest way for most people to go because nobody remembers telephone numbers.
Awesome. Hey, thank you for your time, Dr. Barella.
All right. Thank you very much, Rob.
Hey, still hanging out here in the studio, and now we're going to talk about the Salvation Army with Tina. How are you?
Yes. Hi, Rob. I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
Good. So every year you guys do a big event where you sort of thank all the volunteers and do that kind of stuff, and that's coming up, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's actually this coming Saturday. It's August 17th, and starts at 4 o'clock. We have a dinner. It's a fundraiser and a thank you for all our folks that volunteer.
Awesome.
Because we run on so much on volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd like anyone to come out. It's open as long as we have enough food for everybody.
Good.
We don't get bombarded. The food's going to be catered by the House restaurant here in Show Low, and I love their food. It's so good. It's going to be a chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo.
Yeah,
Nice.
yummy, yummy, yummy. Got a guest speaker. Incredible donations that have come in that will be on part of live auction and silent auction. Just really awesome. Dessert auction, yeah.
Yeah.
Yay, yum, yum,
That's
yum.
the White Mountain
cakes.
staple. I don't know why.
I did want to mention, well, besides our event, we did recently move this year, and so in case folks are looking for us, especially around Christmas time, we're next to the hub in Wagon Wheel Plaza.
Yeah, so actually in the Wagon Wheel Plaza, not in the Hubs area, but right
No,
next
it's right
door.
next
That
door.
one that people get confused. They try to drive here, they try to drive there, but
There-
yeah, you just go over there. But you're like right next to me now, so
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
your little your wagon that's behind.
Our
It's
mobile
the
kitchen.
Mobile kitchen.
Is parked here.
Yep.
And we get called out for disasters pretty regularly. Luckily, we didn't have to serve at a disaster this year.
Awesome.
They're extremely tiring. They're 16-hour days on our feet, and anyway.
Right.
But we do love to serve, so
Good.
it is what we do. Let me explain that the event is held at the Show Low City Campus Gym, which is 620 East McNeil
Right.
in Show Low, in case someone's looking for
That's
that.
the same place they have the daddy-daughter dance, and they have some of those
yeah, that's-
curio sort of festival things,
Yeah,
Santa
couple of events
villages and
in
stuff
there.
like that.
Yeah, the city of Show Low has been very gracious to allow us to be in there
Awesome.
the last few years, and they donate to our event. I do want to mention a couple of sponsors that are very helpful every year. Is Summit Healthcare donates to us funds, and also Kevin Beebe that owns Architectural Design.
Oh, good.
He's actually one of our board members as well. But so this is a fundraiser as well as a thank you, and it's what we use to help people all through the year. If they get down on their luck, they have trouble with a couple of bills, or they're running low on food. We do have a diaper program as well.
Right. And remember, you can help the Salvation Army, and you don't even have to give them a dime. You can actually go and help be a bell ringer
Yeah.
during the Christmas season.
Yes, yes.
They get a lot of money that way, so you can go out and do that.
And up here, our bell ringers don't receive a paycheck. They're all voluntary. And so we do appreciate that, especially at Christmas time. Thank you for mentioning that.
No problem.
Yeah.
So awesome. Anything else?
Oh, gosh, so many things. We just completed back to school, gave out a bunch of backpacks and school supplies to all the little kiddos. And, okay, I'm running blank, but...
There you go. Good. Cool.
That's
We'll
it
stop
for
by
the
and see it's Tina Sherman once again
Yes.
with the...
if you have questions, you can call us at the office, 928-368-9953, which is WWJD.
Awesome.
What would Jesus
What
do?
would Jesus do? Thank you. Hey, that's Tina Sherman with Salvation Army. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good seeing you.
Hey, that's going to be it for this week's Community Shout. Remember, if you want to come in and talk about an event or activity that's going on in the community, you can come here 10 a.m. on Tuesdays, sit over there, and shout it out for free. No cost to you. Hey, thanks to everybody out there viewing. If you have any comments, post them up. We get back to you eventually. So it's fun. It's exciting. It's the White Mountains, and we're rolling into school season, end of summer. Don't forget, in a couple weekends is the Roger Klein concerts at the Lion's Den. They still have some tickets available, I think on Friday and on Sunday, or it's Saturday and Sunday, one or the other, but check them out at the Lion's Den website. I'm Birdman reminding you, if I don't see you around town, I'll catch you right here on the web.